Frankfurt has done yet another smart business deal. And if you look at the last few years, Frankfurt has consistently sold off their best players, not for pennies, but with huge transfer value. And that got me thinking, Welcome everyone to another episode here at No Ball IQ. Today, we're diving deep into the club that casually prints strikers like they run a striker's Xerox machine. Yeah, you guessed it, Frankfurt. They don't panic, they don't beg players to stay, they just sell, reload, and cook again. Meanwhile, some clubs out here are still stuck figuring out how to replace the guy they sold in 2018. So buckle up, grab your tactical goggles or just your monster or something, because this one's going to be a genuine dissection of Frankfurt. Let's get going. Many people have asked me, what exactly is Frankfurt doing? How is it that every single year they manage to produce arguably one of the world's best strikers and then calmly sell them without even flinching? Like, don't they feel any insecurity at all when their best player is walking out the door? So boys, obviously, I did some research, and what I found is fascinating. Understanding how Frankfurt operates and the one-track thought process behind their decisions is mind-blowing. Because, let's face it, no club in the world wants to sell their top asset. Most of them panic. They'll try to protect their top scorer, their crown jewel. Think about Haaland, Mbappe, Lamine Yamal. Every club wants to lock their best players down. But Frankfurt? No. They're a selling club, and they accept that. They know their place in the football food chain. Their current sporting director, Markus Krusche, has managed the club beautifully. Under him, Frankfurt has regularly produced top strikers year after year, sold them, and repeated the cycle. Just strikers alone, yes, only strikers. Frankfurt has made 249 million euros in pure profit over the last 6 years. So, how do they do it? What's Frankfurt's secret sauce that lets them build world-class strikers and sell them at elite prices every season? First of all, it's about being self-sustainable. Frankfurt is a fan-owned club. Like most Bundesliga clubs, they follow the 50+1 rule. That means no oil money, no billionaire owners injecting cash, no Todd Boehly-style wild spending. So what's their strategy? They scout players with high potential who will grow in a couple of years and can be sold at a higher value. But, and this is important, those players also need to fit Frankfurt's football ecosystem. Frankfurt isn't just a stepping stone, they're a competitive team. Markus Krusche calls the big clubs like Man City, Liverpool, Real Madrid, PSG, end clubs. So, Frankfurt comes to an agreement with players early on. Quote, if your development outpaces ours and a serious club comes in with serious money, we won't stop you. You're free to go. That mindset is everything. Players know they're not there forever. But while they're at Frankfurt, they'll be trained, coached, and showcased on a competitive stage. And Frankfurt does it better than almost any club out there. Yes, clubs like Benfica and Porto are also great at this, but if we're just talking Bundesliga, Frankfurt might be better than Stuttgart, or even Dortmund, who are famously a feeder club. Frankfurt specializes in one thing: striker making. Markus Krusche's job is to scout players who fit the right profile. It's a business, emotions aren't involved, but it's not just scouting. They've heavily invested in their training facilities. State-of-the-art infrastructure, elite coaching staff, top-level psychologists to manage players day-to-day, expert nutritionists, and specialized coaches for individual player development. Take Omar Marmoush, for example. They signed him for free. At the time, he wasn't a top player. Technically weak, finishing was off, but through individual coaching, they developed him into a multi-position attacker with lethal finishing. He can now score all types of goals. In recent years, Randal Kolomwani was signed for free. Sold to PSG for 95 million euros. Omar Marmoush now joins Manchester City for 75 million euros. That's a 170 million euro profit between just two strikers. And now you have Hugo Ekitike, sold to Liverpool for 79 million euros with add-ons. Total striker profits in the last 6 years, 249 million euros. Even back in 2019, they were doing the same thing, before Krusche even arrived. That year, they sold Sebastian Haller to West Ham for 50 million euros and Luka Jovic to Real Madrid for 63 million euros. Then came Andre Silva, sold to Leipzig for 23 million euros, and so on. Frankfurt is a conveyor belt of strikers. One's developed and sold, the next one steps up. But here's the kicker. Selling your best player usually means your club's performance drops, not Frankfurt. In 2022-23, they finished 7th, then 6th. Then last year, they performed brilliantly, finishing 3rd. So not only are they making a profit, they're staying competitive. This is not luck. This is mastery. And yes, it could have gone wrong. Many times, this kind of business model falls apart. But Frankfurt's scouting is elite. They don't produce just one type of striker, not a pure number 9 or just a target man. They produce tactically versatile forwards who can adapt across leagues, the Premier League, La Liga, even Serie A. Look at Sebastian Haller. Then we have Marmoush, Koulibaly, and now Ekitike. They're all different profiles, all moldable. Frankfurt scouts players who are technically gifted, tactically versatile, and mentally coachable. And then they coach them right. This level of execution, even top academies like Barca or City can't always pull it off, because their youth players often don't make the first team. And if they do, they stay. They don't get sold. Frankfurt knows its place. Out of their last 26 signings, 21 were under 25 years old. And these aren't just teenagers. Many are already established but still have headroom for growth. They don't sell to intermediary clubs. They want their players to go straight to elite clubs. Like Elia Wahi, signed from Montpellier for 26 million euros, or Burkhardt from Mainz, 18 goals in the Bundesliga, signed for 21 million euros. Frankfurt watches modern trends closely. For example, last year, for the first time, the Premier League overtook the Bundesliga in terms of fast attacking transitions. And Frankfurt, they're a fast transition team. High-speed play, final third creation, shot-heavy approach, tailor-made for Premier League scouts. Last year, Frankfurt created 11 XG just from fast breaks, the most threatening team in Europe on the counter. People say this club lacks ambition, that if they kept their players, they could be a super team. But that's not how they operate. They know their lane and they excel in it. They upset big teams. They perform in Europe, and they've mastered the striker business. Recently, they sold defenders like Ponzo to PSG, and midfielders like Hugo Larsson are attracting big interest. Lindstrom was sold for good value too. But no one beats Frankfurt when it comes to making and selling strikers. If it happened once or twice, you'd call it a fluke. But they've been doing it for 6 to 7 years straight. They've delivered 4 to 5 elite strikers to global football. Frankfurt isn't the prey. They're a Michelin-starred chef cooking for the Lions. They serve, they earn, they stay relevant. But the big question, how long can this go on? And who's the next one to blow up? Could it be Elia Wahi? Only time will tell. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed the full story, and I'll see you all very soon. Until then, don't forget to subscribe to No Ball IQ. Take care, and peace out.